This video is going to talk you through how to recreate this example. And so what's particularly unique about this example with respect to the interaction that's been set up is that when you select a specific year, the moving average is calculated on data that has been removed from that filter selection. So if we were to use sort of native filters, it would only be able to calculate the moving average within the context of the filter in the visualization. So the key idea here is that we're able to capture the selected year in a set. And then rather than filtering everything in the sheet, we can apply that set filter to a specific measure. And so the more scoped down application of the set is what enables the moving average to include prior dates than what's included in the filter here. So let's go to a new workbook and rebuild this from scratch. So the first thing we're looking at is the number of properties by week. And then specifically, we were looking at the 52-month moving average on that. So let's just go ahead and add that moving average here. Okay, and then we can make this one here an area chart. All right, so now we need to create that period selector as well. So we'll make our heat map looking at the number of properties by year. And so I'm going to just go and create a year date part here. And then we'll bring this into our view here. And let's put that on the label. Whoops, make it a square. We can remove the header here. And just check this up top. There we go. So that's our properties by year. So now we need a way of actually storing and persisting that selection. So we'll use the set as on the year level as a way to capture that selection and then use it elsewhere. So this will be the year set. And I'm going to just set up a worksheet action that indicates that this sheet should be a source to that set. So now if we go and make a selection of years and then look in our year set, we should have 2007 to 2013 have been automatically added into the set. And so now we're not going to use it as a filter because that would do this where you have this huge kind of drop off of values that aren't computing using the prior data in 2006. So instead, we're going to sort of apply the filter directly in the measure. So let's add that moving average quick table calculation to our data model here. And then we can go ahead and modify it and say, rather than calculating this moving average across everything, we are going to just conditionally return the moving average. So if the data is in the year set, then return this value, and then otherwise let it be null. And this is giving us an error because the window average is applying on top of aggregated data in the visualization. So the window average is applying on the summary level marks in your view, whereas this is a row level operation that's operating across 1.8 million records, whereas this here is operating across 2,452 marks. And so it can't resolve how to match those things together. So the way to fix that is just add an aggregation around here, and it can be min or max. It really doesn't matter because this year set is a higher level of detail than the week, which is in our view. And so regardless of the aggregation, it will always return the correct result. So that is now going to be our moving average. And one sec, let me just see, did I hit? Yes. Okay, yeah, and so then let me just bring this into the view to replace this. So now you'll see it's only returning for that selected range of time that's in the set. And so then we're going to do the same thing for the number of properties where we conditionally filter that. So if it's in the year set, then we want to return the number of properties, which is a row level value, so we don't need to aggregate this here. So this is the selected properties. And so then when we bring this in, a neat trick with dates is that the timeline will always zoom in for where you have measures. If the data is null, then it doesn't display that time. So we don't even need to do any kind of filtering. That's just a nice kind of bonus of the way that continuous dates operate in Tableau. So now let's go and put this together in a dashboard. So first we want to have this as our backdrop, and I'm just going to put a couple of blank containers on either side. So that's for where the axes will go. And then we will overlay this in a floating manner on top. And now, because we have transparent sheets in 2018.1, you can just go ahead and remove that. And let's remove all of these grid lines as well. So now if I grab, whoops, let me just highlight that so I can grab it and just drag it out here so that it's sort of matching approximately to the end. This is not enormously scientific, but you can modify it if you want after. So it's just really to give an idea. Let me hit, what have I done? Let me just hit undo and bring in a blank one right there. Something like that. So it's just to push up the purple value to align with the underlying weak axis. All right, so now let's just go and make these things white. And do this one as well. And so now when we come back here, it's pretty much, oops, hide the title. There we go. It's more or less that finished result. So the last thing is to just ensure that as we make a selection, it's actually applying everywhere. So here you can see it is filtering this front viz, but we need it to also filter the back viz. So we can do that by just applying the year set to the filter shelf, and then it self-filters as you go and make selections. And so as we zoom out, or zoom in rather, and zoom out, you can have a go at it again and again. And so there you have it, this example rebuilt from scratch. Hope you found this as fun as I did.